Today I've got my thoughts on set 40409, the Hot Rod gift with purchase from 2020. Now, this I picked up from my local Bricks and Minifigs for my birthday a couple weeks ago. And this is a gift with purchase that I've wanted for a number of years actually. And the reason for that is I had the choice of getting either quite a few sets or the Palace Cinema back in 2020 when I was working my first job as kind of a treat for myself with one of my first paychecks, and I wanted to cross the Palace Cinema off my list for my favorite modular building that I'd missed out on. So I went for that. So that meant missing out on this gift with purchase, which at the time was the only kind of old school vehicle set that Lego had done as a gift with purchase. Little did I know they would continue doing those into the future, which I've now got all of them from 2020 up to 2026 because I did do a pretty much a day one order for the modular, so that means we've got that on the way. More on that in a separate video. But for the hot rod build itself here, we've got two great minifigs, which both parts for the minifigs, the torsos and legs and everything, torsos themselves for both minifigs are actually relatively rare. The male torso is, I believe, only in two main sets and like one minor set, being this set as well as the donut shop opening from 2019, which thankfully I do have that set, which it's like looking it up, I thought that this was the only set that this torso was in, but was pleasantly surprised that that torso was in the donut shop set. But they kind of quit production on that torso in 2021. And then as for the female mechanic, the torso is only in, I think, this, the tuning workshop, and then a couple other sets, but it's like under 10 for total sets that torso is in, so it's relatively rare. But overall, the hot rod itself was actually a relatively enjoyable build for something small, which lately smaller projects haven't really been overly enjoyable, but that's been just the overabundance of stickers that I've dealt with, or just the kind of dubbed down just layout of the instructions, which this one for layout wasn't too bad. And so I knew we weren't into the overall, just basically city wasn't down to like junior level at the point where it is now. So it's like I was very enjoyed with this build. And given that my Bricks and Minifigs had multiple copies when I bought this on my birthday, or the few days before, but it's like I might go back to get another one, but one's good enough for the scene that I've got planned for it in my city. But overall, just really happy with the build process and everything for the set, because everything actually went together quite well. And the minifigs are probably the main star of the show for this. And given that there's a new Hot Rod set coming out in the January wave here for City, I'm not going to go for that. Not only just because I built this, but the color scheme for that new one is just basically, it reminds me of that monster truck set from 2020. Basically, it's the same color scheme. Only difference, this new one is a hot rod and not a monster truck. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that. So, overall, really enjoyable little set here. And even with the stickers, I still really enjoyed this build. And now we'll dive into one of the larger projects for 2026. And I'll hopefully have Diagon Alley added to the city at some point. Progress update, it's about half done. So, should be done sometime January. Friend that's helping me with it, or really doing most of it for me, is actually packing up his Lego collection because his family's, I think, planning to move at some point. So this is the last big project that I'll be getting help on, which between that, Avengers Tower, and the Ferris wheel, they were like the main ones that I knew I needed help on for the city. So really happy with that, because I mean, I can get through the Gotham skyline no problem. So overall, getting Diagon Alley into the city this year is going to be major accomplishment for the city. So that's just a little update on Diagon Alley, as well as thoughts video on this Lego Hot Rod GWP. So you guys can tell me your thoughts on this video in the comment section below, and just like and subscribe for more, because I will do more in the future.